It'll be Oklahoma at Texas A&M Commerce Wednesday night, 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus, as this will be the first time this fall that OU's played a game that hasn't been a battle series game. We're going to see OU play for the first time against an actual opponent. Traveling to Commerce, Texas, to take it on an A&M Commerce team that, well, frankly, guys, they weren't all that great last year. 9-45 a year ago, just 2-22 in conference play. And they lost to those national championship Sooners 9-0 in 5 innings at Loves Field this past year. But I got 3 things that I'm looking forward to as we really kind of focus on Oklahoma in this game. And as always, send in your thoughts, your comments. Who are you most looking forward to? Position group you're most looking forward to seeing as Oklahoma and Texas A&M Commerce play. And I'll remind you, because I've gotten this question a few times, yes, this game is televised, 6 p.m. Central Time, and you can find it on ESPN+. All right, number 1 for me. What I want to see more than anything else tomorrow night is pitchers. Pitchers. Let's be honest, guys, and I just ran off the numbers from last year. OU will not be facing the same level of hitter. These pitchers for OU will not be facing the same level of hitter up and down the order as they have so far in the battle series. So since that's the case, go dominate, and not just Sam Landry, who I've been the most impressed with right now. I'm talking about everyone. I'm talking about Sam Landry, but I'm talking about Peyton Monticelli. I'm talking about Kirsten Deal. I'm talking about everyone that gets in the circle for OU. Heck, if Agbayani gets back in the circle, if Ella Parker gets back in the circle, I want to see these pitchers go in. I want to see these pitchers locate, and I want to see them locate multiple pitches, get ahead of counts, right? Not just sit in there and blow fastballs by a Texas A&M Commerce team that failed to win 10 games last year. I want to see you mix up pitches, keep hitters off balance. You are clearly the better team going into this game. Look like you're the better team and look like you are overpowering their hitters with your pitchers in the circle. So, yeah, I'm excited to see more of Sam Landry. I want to see more of Kirsten Deal. I hope that happens on Wednesday night. Same thing from Peyton Monticelli as well. Yes, Lowry, the freshman, too. But the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is I want to see these pitchers not just fare well or fare okay. I want to see them dominate. Up and down the order, up and down the roster, whoever's in, go in there and absolutely dominate, and do so by throwing multiple pitchers. That's number 1 for me. Number 2, what's the first lineup for this year's team going to look like? Now, I'm not so naive to think that the lineup that gets put out Wednesday night in Commerce, Texas, is necessarily going to be the same lineup that they have for the 2025 season or the lineup when they play their first game in the postseason. This thing will change, but it is the first lineup that we have in an actual game against someone other than the battle series. So what does that look like? Who starts in the circle? Who starts at short and second base? I know a lot of people are interested in that. Who starts at the corner infield spots? Who starts in the outfield? Who starts at catcher? I think there's so many interesting things that could happen with the order. Now, everyone's going to play, or at least most of the roster, I would think, is going to play tonight in Commerce, Texas. Not sure exactly how many innings they're going to play. That hasn't been released yet. But if we were to play this game like it was a regular season game against Commerce, Texas, here's what I would think would happen. I would guess that Sam Landry would start in the circle. So I'm going to guess that Sam Landry starts in the circle against Texas A&M Commerce. I've got Isabella Emmerling at catcher. She had a home run last game. Think there's been some nice things for her, especially at the plate up to this point. I got Landry at pitcher, Emmerling at catcher to start. Sid Sanders at first base. Gabby Garcia at second base. Alana Agbayani at shortstop. Nellie McEnroe-Moranis at third base. Ella Parker at DH. And then I've got Malloy in left, Dayton in center, Cassidy Pickering in right. How do you feel about that? You got comments on that, thoughts on that? This could end up looking totally wrong if you're watching this after the fact or you remember the lineup that I'm guessing is going to be out there. But it's just still just interested to see, because if Patty puts out, kind of where she honestly thinks her best lineup is at, I'm very interested to see where she thinks in the middle of October, with a lot of days left until the opening day of the season. But I'm at least interested to see if she plays it that way, what she kind of looks like her best lineup might be today. And I think that could be a lineup tomorrow. Maybe I'm dead on. Maybe I'm totally off base completely. Both things are completely possible. Probably more likely that I'm dead wrong on that. But number 2 for me is what the first lineup for this year's team looks like. I think it's going to change a lot throughout the course of the season, but still interested to see what that looks like. And third and final, more small ball. Did anyone else like all of the small ball that we saw in the second Battle Series games? You know, home runs aren't always going to be there for this year's team or even past year's teams. You know, maybe sometimes you're facing off against Rothrock from Florida, Tegan Cavan from Texas, two really good pitchers, or anybody else in the SEC or in non-conference play where you're really having trouble getting runners across or getting runners on base. You need to be efficient. Every great offense is an efficient one, and this feels like an offense that's going to be able to play small ball. Bunt for base hits, bunt to move runners over, sacrifice flies, you know, doing all the necessary things that you need that don't require hitting the ball over the wall all the time to produce runs. And I loved what I saw last Wednesday night when I saw all the bunts for base hits. And it wasn't just one player getting 2 or 3 base hits off of bunts. It was multiple players who were putting the ball on the ground at a high level and not just beating out throws. Sometimes there wasn't even a throw because once they get the ball on the ground, they're so fast, they're so athletic that they're gonna get to first base just about every single time. So I want to see that. Yeah, I'd love to see power. I'd love to see home runs in Commerce, Texas, but I want to see Abby Dayton. I want to see Maya Bland. I want to see Agbayani. I want to see more of this small ball that I think this OU softball team is really going to have this year. I think that could be huge for the squad. And, hey, I don't want to see it just in a battle series and then don't see it again until the start of the season. Like, let's see it against an actual opponent that isn't your own team. So, small ball for me, number 3. I love it. I enjoy it. And I think this team will be able to hit for power, but I think this team is also going to be able to hit the ball in the gap. I think it's going to be able to hit for average. I think it's going to move runners across. It's going to be able to play small ball. And if you've listened to me at all this offseason, you know what I think. I think this offense is going to be good. I think this offense is going to be the strength of the team. And if I continue to see this lineup, because, again, it's not just one player. If I continue to see this lineup bunt for base hits like I've seen so far, well, already the high expectations I had for this offense and how good they're going to be, they're even going to be higher if they can add that element to the game as well. So those are my 3 things that I'm looking forward to. There's a lot of others. I want to see great base running. I want to see great defense as well. If I could throw in an honorable mention, I'll throw in that. Clean defensively. Yeah, let me see the incredible plays. We'll see if there's opportunities to make incredible plays tomorrow. But let's talk about a game where we get out of here on a Wednesday and OU clearly looks like the better team. And, man, one thing is very evident is every routine ground ball to shortstop, every routine ground ball to the second baseman, every routine fly ball in the outfield was caught and it was handled with ease. Let me see that. Throw in your 3 things, 1 thing, however many things you want that you're looking forward to seeing as Oklahoma takes on Texas A&M Commerce. Crystal Bustos. Who remembers that name? Crystal Bustos, huh? Former softball star and assistant coach for A&M Commerce, but it's exciting. You get to see this team play someone else other than Oklahoma. Now, maybe it's not as big of a test for this team necessarily, but it's still fun to see at least a small little glimpse into what this team is going to be coming up in 2025. As always, appreciate you watching. There will be a short recap video tomorrow night of what happened in this game with some quick takeaways. And don't forget to join me Thursday night as well for a live stream as we all come in here and have fun and talk about this team for a good 45 minutes to an hour. As always, appreciate you watching.